In this example, taken from the Principles of Orchestration by Nikolai Rimsky-Korsakov, we will think about the possibilities to choose the right articulations for the notes that we program. We will be starting from the most evident characteristics that emerge from the score. We will talk about how to use sustains, performance legato, fast performance legato, the important differences between the short articulation staccato, spiccato, and détaché, and of course about dynamics articulations, crescendo and diminuendo. Keep in mind that the indications in a score are always of a general nature and should be, theoretically, always an excellent starting point. In the practice of choosing the note connections, however, it's often possible to experiment with different, less rigorous alternative solutions, which in some cases can work better than the theoretically more suitable articulation. We can use sustain in the vibrato, no vibrato, and progressive vibrato variants on the notes with long values and generally soft attacks. Let's listen to the attack of flute 2, oboe, the English horn, and then the brass section with the second and fourth horn, trumpets, trombones, tuba, and the double basses. The rhythmic melodic performance of the first flute, clarinet, violins, and cello lends itself perfectly to the use of performance legato and fast performance legato. The shorter the values, especially if there are no transient dynamic symbols like accent, dots, lines on the note, etc., the more we will tend to use the fast performance legato. In the strings, the same melody differs a bit when adding a couple of accents on the connected notes. I thought of getting this accent by using performance legato and staccato in the same cell, A slot plus B slot. For string instruments, especially within a connected musical phrase, I find a brief overlap between the end of a note and the beginning of the next one useful. When you want to emphasize the bow change instead, it's better to avoid overlaps. Here we find a short line above the note. It can be understood, as in this case, as an advice to separate two consecutive sounds only a little bit and very naturally. A good opportunity to use the attaché for the strings at this point. The sforzato is a regular note, but with a strong and louder attack. When we want a shorter and drier sound than the one indicated by the note, we can use a staccato. This is indicated with the dot above the note. For bowed instruments, we also have the spiccato. It is the bow that bounces on the string, and this is indicated in the score with an inverted triangle above the note, but often also with a dot, as in the violas in this case. Generally speaking, spiccato is a very short sound that is used in faster and brighter performances. In the middle and final part of this excerpt, we can see the crescendo and diminuendo symbols. Let's pick the appropriate dynamic articulation in the most suitable length for all need: 1.5, 3, 4 seconds, etc. It can work as a crescendo in the A version and as a diminuendo in the B version. It is therefore essential to place the correct key switch to the corresponding note to get the correct dynamic change. Do some experiments and download the project files for the main sequencer platforms directly from our website. And don't forget to check our Vienna Academy page, where you can find a lot of information on the features, use, combination and more of each single instrument in the library.